All right, so today is a red day. Down $110. That is actually pretty bad for me. My average position size was between $600 and $1,000. So I would say I'm down maybe 20%, 15 to 20% of my average position size. I have been sizing up, but this is probably the biggest loss I've had in a while. The last time I had a loss as big was back in May, which back in May, let me just pull up my metrics here. If I look back in May, I had a loss of, I hadn't had a $100 loss in a while. Let's just go to my cumulative. So I had a pretty substantial loss in this level here, in this area. Had a $100 loss there, and then completely panicked and started revenge trading. I pretty much just took a nice $900 loss there. So this is my chance to redeem myself, to stop trading at my max loss, which is actually, my max loss is about $60 right now. So I'm trading a little bit beyond max loss, but it's okay because I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to make sure the loss doesn't grow any bigger. I lost on SVFD, was the worst. Terrible stock. Look at how choppy this is. Just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. The front side, I didn't get aggressive enough on the front side. My average position size was maybe about $600 on the front side. And then I was up about 20, $25 here and started getting super aggressive, waiting for a 5-minute setup. I was buying off the VWAP, looking for maybe a move past $6 to $6.20, $6.30. Didn't end up happening. Flushed. I started buying off this support level here at 560s, and that flushed to that level. And then at this point here, I was in damage control, averaging down, trying to capture a couple cents to mitigate the loss, but it just kept growing and growing. Lost about $55 on this trade here. I remember on this candle here, it was looking like it was going to reclaim VWAP and rip maybe to 620, 630. That's why I was getting aggressive. I saw the bid stacking. There was maybe about 10,000 shares on the bid, and they pulled the order. This happened in an instant. And at this point, I was actually adding because I wanted to mitigate my losses. And then here's the second leg down, and I was just like, fuck. And I cut it there. And at that point, I was almost at max loss. And then I went over to BSFC and started trading this. I missed this move here. However, I was accumulating here. I didn't get that aggressive. I thought we were going to see a pullback here to 560 before we broke this 650 level. But it ended up going. I saw volume coming in. I added for this break of the high here at 640, which is the high is 640 right here. Added at 640 and then took off at the highs. Overall, it was a pretty good trade. I made a lot of the money back, some of the money back that I lost. And then it completely reversed here, and I was accumulating on this pullback for a higher low, maybe for a push to VWAP. And it just never happened. The volume never came in, and I just kept getting chopped up there. Took a $30 loss there, and then I just stopped trading this stock. I was pretty hopeful on this stock. I thought that this would reverse off the lows and maybe make a move up to 10, 11, or 12 to squeeze out these late short sellers here, because anybody who's getting short right at 7 o'clock was in the money, and I thought they were going to get squeezed out before it started fading back down to $3 or $2, but it just never happened. Right now, shorts are in the money, big time. Anybody who was up here shorting, hugely in the money, and even anybody started shorting at $9, $8, $7 are in 100% profit right now. I really thought this was going to squeeze, and it may squeeze later in the day, but It's not looking good right now. And then I jump back to SVFC. At this point, I'm down $55. So right around max loss. And I wanted to do one more trade. I thought that, I could climb my way back out of this. And I was just going for the home run. And I saw this squeezing up on high volume. Let me overlap the volume so you can see. So volume here was on this candle 342,000. The highest volume candle here, so it was 150,000. So this is about double the volume than it was at 7:30. So I really thought this was this trapped shorts, and shorts are panicking out. I thought this was gonna squeeze past 6 into 7, maybe 8 or 9, and do a nice front side. But it just didn't end up happening. I took a starter here, and it ended up pulling back a little bit more. So I added, initially I actually added at $5.99 for a break of $6. Didn't end up happening. It pulled back a little bit. And I was thinking, okay, we're just going to have a micro pullback here before we rip back up through $6 and then maybe to $6.50. It didn't happen. It pulled back a little bit more, stopped at like $5.50. And I thought we were going to, okay, this is it. We're going to have support at VWAP. We're going to bounce off VWAP, reclaim here, and rip past 6. So I added 40 more shares. I was in $600 position size. And then a huge flush of 10%. And that put me down again. Another 10% on $600 is $60. So that put me down at 100 minus 110. So 3 really bad losses. Just 3 strikes and I'm out. I was swinging hard. I was swinging for the fences today, and I struck out. And if this would have worked out here, with 100 shares, I could be up maybe $100, $150 on this one trade. So it was still about a 2 to 1 risk reward ratio. So I took a good setup here, I believe. Maybe I chased it a little bit, adding here at $6. And then this topping tail candle, I probably should have been more patient and see what happened if price came back up and retested close over $5.90 or $6, then start adding into a position for the break of 6 and then run up to the highs, because this topping tail candle does not look good at all. And ended up flushing right through. No support, nothing, no buyers, nothing. And I think a lot of people lost money on that trade there. It was just very unfortunate. So that was really my day. I haven't had a loss this big in a while. However, I have come to accept it. Emotionally, it kind of sucks, but the only thing you can do is accept the loss, and then accept that you're going to be taking the next few days, the next few green days, digging yourself out of the hole. That's just how it is. I mean, it's not really that bad. I mean, you can barely even see the drawdown there on my cumulative P&L. So there's nothing really to worry about. It's just one of those days that it's like one of those outlier days of having a big loss. 3 big losses in a row. That usually doesn't happen. And I was swinging harder and harder because I'm working on sizing up. And I'm happy I took that risk, and I'm happy I was able to size up under pressure. And I didn't really do anything too irresponsible. I kept within the framework of my position sizing of scaling up maybe 25%. So my max size was $600 before. My average size was $300. And so I pretty much increased that by 30 or about 50%. So my max size is 900 to 1,000, and my average position size was $600. So within the framework of that new position sizing, this is actually it's a decent loss, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. I've always had 10% losses before my position sizing was like I said, $600. And so I've had drawdowns of let's see, I've had drawdowns, so 10%, so $60 would be a 10% drawdown. So I was a little bit beyond 10% before. So this isn't all out of the ordinary. It's about a 10% drawdown of my position size. And so nothing out of the ordinary, nothing to worry about. Just a very choppy market day, no support, no momentum, no continuation. And overall, it's just one of those days. So even on the open here, this thing ripped up. I actually thought it was going to go this time, but completely fucking like shit the bed. Absolutely no opportunity on that. You would have gotten. I mean, there's opportunity for it to break it a VWAP, but still, like I would, in the back of my head, I'd be like, is it just going to do the same thing as this? Because there'd be no way I'd have confidence to be adding and adding and adding for to break it a high. So I really just have to wait for that market to heat back up again, so then I can really press a little bit harder and hold a little bit longer. This kind of market reminds me that when the market is hot, I need to be more aggressive and adding higher and holding longer for the full front side move. Maybe adding into the breakout and not taking my profit until we have that full extension. So maybe after the breakout, it rips up a couple cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, pulls back, and then still holding that position, not taking a profit, and adding into that pullback and looking for that next pop and taking off into that next pop. That in a hot market, I need to get used to doing, because that's really going to make up for this type of market where it's really hard to make money. I was doing pretty good on the week. I was up over $100 on a week, so that's 10% of my average position size. And now on the week, I'm not doing too good. On the month, I pretty much gave back almost everything. I have $40 in profit on the month. I was out for about a week early in the month. I was out for about a week because I had COVID. So minus maybe 4 or 5 days of trading, I'm about $40. On the week, it put me red. I'm down $7 on the week. I was up $100 on the week. I was doing really good. I had a solid week under my belt, and I just gave it all back in 3 red trades in a row. So don't know how I feel about that yet, but it's okay. At least I'm green on the month. There's nothing out of the ordinary that happened. Maybe this last trade here was unnecessary, and maybe I chased it a little bit. Other than that, I thought I took good solid setups, and if it was a decently hot market, semi-lukewarm market, I think these trades would have worked. So I'm not too concerned about them not working. It's just I'm in the wrong market, and I didn't identify the lack of strength in this market, and I was getting kind of aggressive on setups that had no likelihood of working out. They ended up falling right through the floor. A lot of these setups have been falling right through the floor. And so at this point here, I shouldn't have really taken this trade. I was down at my max loss, a couple dollars less than my max loss. So I should have just called it there, but I kind of broke the rule. I would consider breaking the rule because I got really aggressive. Took this trade here I didn't really need to take. Other than that, I mean, I thought I took some calculated risks. I didn't really think I broke too many rules other than that. And that's just how it goes. So, red day, long term on my P&L, bullish, hella bullish. Just working on sizing up, getting used to emotionally taking bigger losses as I'm sizing up, and emotionally adjusting to bigger and bigger wins as I am sizing up. That's just like the hardest thing for me to do, is to adjust to that new normal of taking different size losses and different size winners than I'm used to, because I'm sizing up. So hope you guys all did well today. Hope you guys did better than I did today. And next week's a new week. Maybe we'll see some better momentum next week, and I'm going to come back and stay optimistic and I think that's everything that I wanted to say. There'll be better days ahead of us. And for right now, I'm going to stop trading because that is the best thing to do. So see you guys next week, and I'll catch you guys